Hello folks, and welcome to Now Playing Terraria. Mining games are all the rage these days. Minecraft arguably paved the way for them, but games like Dwarf Fortress helped too. And don't forget those old virtual reality games like Alpha World that helped with all these be-your-own-architect style things. But on a lot of these games, there's a lot less game than there is architect. And that's one of the things that Terraria wants to fix. It wants to make it so that there is plenty of game to your game. Terraria, aptly, was described to me as Minecrastlevania Troid, or something close to that. The game functions like a Metroid game. Gather gear so that way you can do things that you couldn't do before, or go deeper than you could before, or kill enemies that you couldn't do before. This works actually rather well with a mining game, as you'll be able to gain better picks to access more areas. You'll be able to destroy more enemies with weapons, because yes, there are a lot of weapons. And of course, traverse the terrain a lot easier. And being able to get weapons is good too, because the game is absolutely flooded with monsters. As I said, it's Minecraft, with a Metroidvania style. So you should be able to guess what the gameplay is like. Because this is 2D instead of 3D, you don't have to worry about mining in all directions. Just down, left, and right. The game even starts you out with a pick and a hammer and a sword and an axe, so that way you can just do whatever you want. There is a hierarchy of minerals in the game, so that way you can expect to need to get better equipment as you go down. There are also layers of earth as you move down, ending in hell. Yup, hell, complete with demons. And there are plenty of things you need on the way down, too. The game also provides things like hook shots for easier travel. Light is a big deal down below, so you will need to drop things like torches and glow sticks, that way you can see at all what you're doing. There's a crafting system to make what you need. Very simple, just pull up your menu and choose what you want. It's a little bit more user-friendly than Minecraft's. Really, the game is ripe for exploration, ripe to do whatever you want. While there are goals you can meet, such as destroying large bosses and the like, you don't really have to do that. There are no real objectives that you have to follow, no real thing that you need to do. Just do what you like. In this case, going to kill a few mobs. I have to say, one major complaint I have with the game is that you have to connect to IP instead of having a lobby system. It makes it just a bit more of a pain in the ass in order to get access to your friends. Though I will say that a program known as Tungle is very good for that, and I would advise using it. The controls are pretty good, using the standard WASD keys for movement, and that's pretty normal for a game like this. I will say one major complaint I have with the controls is that you cannot edit them in-game. You must disconnect in order to edit them, which can be a bit of a pain if you're playing with friends, because if you are actually hosting the server, they're going to get kicked out. Luckily for most of us, there is an option to run a dedicated server. There are some key bindings in Terraria that you're able to use. Not many, though. The game mostly uses the quick select function in order to make it possible for you to select your items. Still, the quick select function works fairly well, and you're not really going to miss not having too many key bindings. There is a minor complaint that for people who are lefties, there is no way to augment your mouse key bindings, which is a bit of a pain for people with multi-button mice like me, who would like a little bit easier actions for things like throwing glow sticks and things like that. The sound in general is fairly lackluster. There is no real big deal to it. It doesn't have really amazing music, and the sound effects are only so-so. Not that it needs anything better than that it has, but don't come in expecting a catchy soundtrack or anything. It's passable, and not much more. Really, the majority of goodness you're going to find in Terraria is actually going to be with the multiplayer aspect. You're going to be able to work with or against friends in order to get things done. Explore with them. Destroy bosses with them. You can build gigantic projects with them. Build a tower to the sky or a gigantic diving board that ends with a small cup of water way down below. It's a lot funnier than it sounds. There's also PvP if you decide that's something you want. And you can have up to 8 players on a server at any given time as long as the host's connection is at least passable. And given that the game is procedurally generated and that you can have unlimited maps, you're going to be playing Terraria for quite a long time. How much is the game selling for? Only $9.99. How much is it worth? At least double that. Given that there's plenty of multiplayer in the game, and given that it's got procedurally generated maps, as I said, you're going to be playing for a while. It will last you a good long time, which is fantastic. You're going to get a great amount of hours out of it. And given that you can play with friends, that there is a ton that you can do, definitely worth the money that you can put into it. I'd say at least 20 bucks, if not more than that. Now, as for the hamburger style, it gets at least 3 hamburgers, if not more than that. I've put almost 30 hours into it, and I got it on sale. But even at the full price of $10, it'd still be at least worth double to triple that amount. It's going to get you plenty of hours, as long as you can enjoy a game that has no real point or purpose. No real thing it wants you to do. You just play, and just keep on playing. So, go get it already. Play with some friends. Get stuff done. Figure out exactly how many Eyes of Cthulhu that you guys can kill in one night. Or, you know, gigantic world-eating worms. Or, just go dig down to hell and see how many demons you can kill before you get taken out. Have fun, guys. See you next time.